from a fallout shelter somewhere under Seattle, Washington. It's the show you've been waiting for. Get ready to join your hosts, John and Kenric, as they talk comics, movies, and more. Now here's Spoiler Country!
Alright, welcome back to Spoiler Country. I'm Mr. Kenric Regan. I don't know why I said Mr. Kenric Regan. I'm Kenric Regan. That is Mr. Horsley. And today on our show, it's all about the Executive Vice President of Titan Entertainment, Andrew Sumner, the man, the myth, the legend.
Yes, we were lucky enough to sit down with him and have a couple of pints at the Pioneer Square Saloon and just chat with him for a long time. It's going to be a 2-part episode because we talked for over 2 hours.
Yeah,
it was such a fun time.
It was a fun time. It was really cool. It was funny. We walked in there, and I haven't been in that saloon for like, I don't know, 20 years. Yeah. You know, and it's just really a dive bar. It's a cool dive bar though. And I was like, hey man, I went to the bartender. I was like, hey man, when did this bar open? He was like, I don't know, when it was still dirt roads.
So a long ass time ago.
Yeah, so well over 100 years, and there's a lot of history there. It was really cool to sit down, and we got lucky because it was a Saturday, but it was during the day, and there was literally nobody else in there, and the guys watching World War Z in the background.
Right, I know, yeah. So you might hear World War Z in the background. I think it's edited out pretty well. You can't really hear it, but yeah, it was kind of funny. There was a part of me like, I haven't seen that movie yet, so I was watching it a little bit.
Were you?
Yeah,
that's kind of funny.
Not much.
That movie came out so long ago. I thought they were going to do other ones. They never did, or are they still in process?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know. I think they're still working on the sequel for it because I mean it did all right.
But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about Andrew.
We're not. Andrew is awesome. We met him at Comic-Con last year.
Yep.
Met him again at Comic-Con this year.
Yep.
And had such a great time with him in San Diego that he was up in Seattle and we met up again to do some recording and talk some shop stuff. And
yeah.
The dude knows more. The dude has more useless facts and more names of actors and directors and writers and artists in his head than I do.
He's done
that impresses
a lot.
The shit out of me.
He was a movie reporter. He worked at Time Warner. He put out a lot of, he published magazines. He's done a lot in the industry and in and around the entertainment as a whole. And he's a huge comic book nerd.
Oh yeah, he's huge, just pop culture nerd. I mean, it's the things he was able to spout off the top of his head was just impressive without looking. Even he wasn't looking anything up.
Yeah, but I think his number one love is comic books because.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, you could tell he gets really passionate about it and just knows what he's talking about. He's just he's a joy to talk with. So
he was. I can't wait to do it again.
Yeah. So I guess that's probably a great intro. And why don't you just sit back and relax and listen to the soothing sounds of Andrew Sumner?
I want every DC Comics comic book movie to be great. I mean, I love the Nolan films. I love them. And I love Wonder Woman. Yeah. But I want every DC comic book movie to be great, and it's a source of personal sadness to me when it isn't.
Right.
But all this whole kind of, Infinity War is fucking awesome. Right. Justice League is a failure. Fuck you. I don't understand that at all.
Right. I don't either. I don't get it.
It's also, but it's like, I love Star Wars. I fucking love Star Trek.
Yeah.
I love Flash Gordon. I don't dislike any of those
Flash
things.
Gordon.
Flash Gordon.
I wish they'd bring that back really well.
Me too. Yeah, me too. The one thing they would have to do, no matter who makes a new Flash Gordon film, is use that Queen theme tune.
Oh,
do you know what I mean? Because that's become so synonymous with it.
You
don't understand how you can't, irrespective of what the movie is going to be.
Even though it's from a radio play from like the 1920s,
right?
1930s.
Dude, the old cereal from the 40s?
Yeah, the old cereal, the Buster Crab
was
cereals.
Was it the 40s?
It was the movie cereals.
30s.
Was it 30s?
They started in the 30s, Buster Crab cereals. Yeah, the 1930s. And they're based on the Alex Raymond comic strip. The thing about the Alex Raymond comic strip is when you look at the Alex Raymond comic strip, just the most beautiful artwork, absolutely incredible, a level of sophistication that people weren't getting in newspaper comic strips at that time. Because essentially, I mean, what a lot of people don't, really think about is that Flash Gordon is actually ripping off Buck Rogers. Buck Rogers is the original. It's not the copy. It's the other way around.
Oh, I didn't know. I thought Buck Rogers was the TV show. I didn't know they were that old. That's funny.
Buck Rogers came first. Yeah. And interestingly, there are 3 Flash Gordon serials, right? Yeah. There's Flash Gordon, Flash Gordon's Trip to Mars, Flash Gordon Conquers the Universe, there is also a Buck Rogers cereal, which also stars Buster Crabbe as Buck Rogers.
Oh, really?
And so in that cereal, he keeps his dark hair. He doesn't bleach it blonde. And basically, Buck Rogers came first. But if you look at the original Buck Rogers strips, the artwork is very, very primitive. The concept is great. And what Alex Raymond did, he kind of did a riff on that. He brings in Flash Gordon. But the artwork in Flash Gordon is way ahead of anything you're seeing.
That's awesome.
Phenomenal.
So I'm a big fan of the Phantom, right? Phantom, amazing.
Phantom's awesome.
So basically,
Phantom, yeah.
I love
the
Phantom.
original Phantom strips, the first couple of years by Lee Falk and Ray Moore, and basically they are amazing. They've got this propulsive energy to them, but the draftsmanship isn't kind of detailed high art. But if you look at Alex Raymond's work on Flash Gordon, it's amazing. It's amazingly detailed. It's great stuff. You know what I mean?
So we're recording now.
Yeah, sure.
And we're here with Andrew Sumner of Titan Entertainment.
Hello, greetings, gents. Good to see you, John. Good to see you, Kenric.
Good to see
again,
you, man. I'm glad to be here. He
Cheers,
came up
by
to
the way.
Seattle.
Cheers.
Yes.
Came up to
amen.
Seattle, having a couple pints, having a little fun. Going to talk some geekdom in all its glory.
Right on.
We're going to talk wherever it goes.
Yep.
Yeah, right on.
Wherever this goes.
And we're down in
Yeah.
Pioneer Square at the Pioneer Square Saloon.
Yeah.
It's an old bar that's been here since the roads were dirt.
I've never been here before.
Oh.
In beautiful downtown Seattle,
Yeah.
the historic center of the city.
Yep.
Seattle, by the way, one of my top 5 American cities. You
Oh,
know,
yeah?
As you know, I spend a lot of time here, and I love Seattle. I've got some great friends who live here. Great
got
friend of
two
mine.
more.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I've got 4 great friends. Yeah, so my men like Dave and Mike, who we work with here, our sales rep, and a good friend of mine, Sam, who's a buyer at Nordstrom. Very good friends with those guys. They're awesome people. Now you guys as well.
Yeah.
I'm building up my own kind of Seattle.
Every
Pacific
time you
Northwest
come, man, we
group.
gotta get
Exactly.
together. And do
Yeah,
this.
right
Sounds
on.
Good.
Yeah, my friends at Zoo
More.
Lady as well. It's all
Hopefully,
good.
you come down when the next time when the Sounders are playing.
Oh yeah,
we go
man,
see
I'm
a-
there.
see a match.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
So I work right here, and my building looks into the Sumner Stadium.
Oh, how cool.
So when they have games during the day, I can just go upstairs and like watch them from the
yeah,
stairs. It's pretty
right on.
awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the way to get it done.
Yeah.
I love that.
We have a very Euro feel on our soccer matches.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Or football matches.
Yeah, yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah, yeah. No, they are actually football matches, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but we have a very good feel here. And what's his name? Who's the guy from London that was the top player for many years and married to the posh Spice Girl?
Oh yeah.
Beckham.
Yeah.
Beckham.
David
Jeez,
Beckham.
man. David
Yeah.
Beckham.
One of the most handsome men in the world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Extremely good looking bloke.
Yeah. It's funny though. His voice doesn't match his.
Oh, absolutely
No, not at all.
I once heard on a radio show. This is quite a long time ago. There's this guy who's a radio DJ in the UK, Kristen O'Connell. He does a kind of mass market show now, but he used to do a great sort of edgy show for an indie music station in London called XFM. And I was once listening to his breakfast show, and by accident, he found out that the way to make David Beckham's voice normal is to just slow down the tape by a third. And when you do that, it just sounds like anybody else. It sounds like Ray Winston, man. Do you know what I mean? It's a completely normal voice if you just slow it down a bit. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
So he just needs a chip in his neck where that's what he does.
Well,
you know?
Beckham said when he played for the LA Galaxy that this was his favorite place to play because it felt more like home than any other place. And if he was going to come back to the MLS here, this is where he would want to play.
And it makes complete sense because this is, I think culturally, in many ways, Boston is the most English city in America.
Yeah,
Right.
Makes sense.
But it
Seattle's a close
actually,
second.
in terms of the climate, this is exactly what England is like.
I love it.
I was just saying before, if you trace the parallel across the globe, we're pretty much in the same place.
Right.
Now there are some other bits of not trying to turn this into a weather podcast and send everybody to sleep. There's other bits
What's the
of
weather?
10-day
forecast, will you?
This is my dad, right? He's a fucking awesome bloke. He's in his late 80s. Every conversation with my dad, he's
Turns it to
such
weather?
a cool bloke, is about the weather. You know what I mean? Specifically about where the wind is coming from and how cold it is. And he'll pick up the phone and he's like, "Oh, what about that wind this morning?" You know what I mean? That's it. And I think maybe it's because
Blew that toupee back.
yeah. Man, so he's so this would be right to restrict this conversation. But we have other things operating on our ecosystem. So in the UK, so we're a bit we're a bit damper, I guess. The thing is, we're experiencing this weather I'm personally experiencing a major urban centre like London. What's beautiful about Seattle is the mix you have between buildings and greenery. England's a very, very green nation, but Liverpool and London are very urban cities. But here, you can stand in the middle of the city and you can see the forestry as well. It's one of the great, really beautiful things about Seattle.
Giant mountains.
Fucking awesome! It's brilliant. Looking at those mountains. I mean, I think another place where you can have a great experience like that, completely different kind of terrain, is if you go to Salt Lake City. And essentially everywhere you look in the city, you see the skyscrapers, and then you see even bigger mountains in the background. It's really beautiful.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, and this gets back to the thing we were talking about the other day about. For me, driving around the USA, flying from around the USA is just like constantly traveling around a huge movie set, and having been exposed to all manner of American comic books, movies, and TV shows throughout all of my life. The great thing about being here is, there's 1,000 films shot here, and there's 1,000 films shot in LA and New York and Chicago, and it's just great to see it all. Whereas there are hundreds of films like shot in London, or tens of films shot in Liverpool. You know what I mean? And when you see one, you're like, whoa, look, that's my hometown. But if you're like a New Yorker, you're just so bored with seeing your own city on TV. You can see it all the time.
Not quite the same. Yeah, it is kind of special when you go through and you see because a lot of times they go to Vancouver, Canada, and say, we're in Seattle, but they're just in Vancouver. You know what I mean? And you can tell Vancouver. But it's cool when they do shoot here and then you see it on screen. You're like, oh, I've been there. You guys are actually saying the right names.
Right on.
It's always fun. No. So before we get too far off the read, should we go through what Titan's all about and what they got going on? And
yes.
Because we got Doctor Who Day coming. We got Tank Girl Day coming. Right?
There's theme day. So here's a bit of a kind of primer about Titan Entertainment. So Titan Entertainment is 4 divisions. And it's been in existence for about 30 years. Yeah. And it's a retail chain in the UK called Forbidden Planet. And Forbidden Planet is the largest comic book chain in the UK.
Awesome.
Largest
I love that
name.
Chain
the
movie was amazing.
The flagship store in London, I think, is the biggest comic book store in the world. It's amazing. I'd
love to go there.
If you ever get there, you've got to check it out. It's a phenomenal place. So there's Forbidden Planet, then there's Titan Books, who do a range of awesome coffee table books, movie time books, things like The Art of Star Trek, or like The Art of Mass Effect. They do a lot of computer game stuff. It's pretty amazing. It's great stuff, and they have a fantastic hard-boiled crime imprint called Hard Case Crime. Yeah, and they had a #1 seller on the New York Times. Only
publishers out there still doing that type of really hard-nosed crime.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if anybody's really doing it the right way anymore.
It's really dedicated stuff, and they were #1 on the New York Times bestseller list about 3 years ago with a Stephen King book called Joyland.
Yeah.
And they do really great stuff. But then Titan itself, under its regular imprint, it does a lot of like space opera, War in Space series novels. It has a great fiction list. And it does all kinds of like movie and TV coffee table reference books.
Yeah. That's awesome.
And then we've got Titan Comics, which we were talking about a lot at San Diego, which is a whole fleet of licensed comic books, things like Bloodborne and Doctor Who and Assassin's Creed, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And then
I know you guys as Doctor Who fans are rabid.
Oh yeah!
Last year we met you at SDCC.
There you go.
Yeah. And you gave us the great story of you on the plane singing, talking about Wonder Woman. Yeah. Which was It was hilarious. And then because we were talking, you're like, "Hey, come to our panel about Doctor Who." And so we go there and we tweeted out like 2 times that we're at the Doctor Who panel. And I shit you not, Andrew, we got so many people asking us questions. What happened to the Doctor Who panel? What happened? What's this? When's this? When's that? And I was like, I don't even know. I couldn't keep up with everything. You guys are rabid.
Doctor Who fans are hardcore.
Yeah. And I love Doctor Who. I've watched every single episode from the old ones to 2005 and beyond. I think David Tennant is still probably my favorite Doctor Who.
I think he's the high watermark for the show internationally.
I love Matt Smith. Yeah. I love Peter Capaldi. I didn't think he got a fair shake. I don't know why people were always. You found more negative stuff about Peter for some reason. I didn't get it.
I mean, my take on that is I think the show was still interesting when he was the Doctor, But I think a couple of interesting things had happened. I mean, of the recent Doctors, my favourite Doctor was Christopher Eccleston, actually, the ninth.
Yeah.
He was the guy they relaunched the show with, because he's a Northerner like myself.
Right.
He's a
He was only on for
fantastic
the one
actor.
season, though.
He's only on it for the one season. And the story that I hear is that ultimately there was some tension between him and the producers.
Right, him and
You know,
Moffat?
no, it was before that. It's Russell T Davies. It might
Russell
not have
T.
been
Davies.
Russell T. Who's the guy who relaunched show.
Yep.
Is an excellent showrunner. It might not have been with him, but it could have been with some of his people. But there was a
There's some
disconnect.
tension there, yeah.
Yeah, but that season, I would urge anybody who's a Doctor Who fan to go and watch that first relaunch season.
Introduce Rose.
Yeah, it's
And
amazing
people
stuff.
still love. They want her to come back.
Oh, it's incredible. Rose is great.
Yeah.
He's great. You know, and there's phenomenal episodes in that. I mean, the first episode in that season, the Eccleston season, in which they reintroduced the Dalek, and it's out at a kind of Roswell type place in the desert. It's amazing. But I would say my take on this, because I'm like yourself, I've seen every episode of Who. The only difference between you and I is I've seen every episode in real time.
Right.
So I know I've seen every episode.
I watched a lot of reruns and then caught up, and then well, I don't even know if I've seen them all. Right. Yeah. I did watch the first.
You've seen all the ones that are available.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and I did watch the first season because I think that's available now.
Yeah.
I think you can watch it on YouTube. Even,
Yeah.
Of the original guy. I can't remember his name.
William Hartnell.
Yeah.
The thing about what's interesting about the early days of the show,
he wasn't a very nice guy.
Oh, he's not. He absolutely isn't. It's quite irascible and curmudgeonly.
Yeah.
Curmudgeonly,
that's exactly the best word for it.
The early two seasons, the first two Doctors, which are the black and white seasons, are quite a large portion of the recorded output doesn't exist anymore because the BBC, they're either lost or deliberately wiped.
Right.
And they've found some over the years in different far-flung parts of the world and recreated some of them with vocal tracks and animation. But there's a lot of stuff that I must have seen as a kid that I flat out don't remember. The only thing is I know I was parked in front of that show from the moment it started, because Who is like a month younger than me. 1963, November 63. Check this out, right? I don't know if you've ever heard this, but it was originally supposed to start screening a month earlier, and it got bumped back a month because of the JFK assassination.
Oh, really?
That happened either on the day it was due to air or the day before or something. And there was so much what was then, it's not 24-hour news then, there was so much full schedule news coverage that they bumped it back because they didn't want the debut to get drowned out.
It got lost.
Yeah, right.
It got lost in the
totally
news.
lost.
Yeah.
And the thing is, when Who was originally launched, it was launched with a kind of a mandate of entertaining and educating children, which is hence the reason they did a time travel show. It was supposed to be about going back at certain points in history and, and focusing.
History,
and then that morphed into ultimately going into the future, and it became much more science fictional over time. But it did have a very educational mandate at first.
It's a brilliant show.
Yeah, it's a great show.
The way they do it, the way they can keep it going with the regeneration, it's like you have everything covered.
Yeah.
Well, I to this day,
And the Daleks are
they're awesome.
So just iconic.
Super iconic.
Yeah.
To this day, I still run into Americans outside of the fan space. There might be buyers for retail chains or whatever, who know what the show is and know it's popular, who've never watched it. And the way I always explain it to them is, well, imagine if 1966 Star Trek had never been cancelled and was still going to this day. But about every 5 years or so, they got a new actor to play Captain Kirk and he regenerated.
Yeah.
That's the way to look at it.
That's a perfect way to explain it.
Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah.
You guys need another round?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
All right, you want the same
I'm
one?
going to have the same as you, mate.
Oh, okay.
That looked awesome.
2 lagers.
It tasted
Yeah,
really
what'd you get?
Just a lager.
All the same thing. Yeah, so it's funny you say the Ninth Doctor's your favorite, because that's actually my least favorite of the new ones.
This is what I love about it. It's great.
Because I started watching with my wife, because I was like, I've been a nerd my whole life, right? My dad was collecting comic books in the 50s. Okay, my dad had built up a collection to open a store in the 80s. He had an 8x10 room full of like everything Marvel, everything to open a store, right? So I grew up on comic books. I grew up loving them, reading them, and he watched Doctor Who, what was over here in America, back in the 70s and stuff. And he always told me about it. I watched a few here and there, and they brought it back in 2005, and I didn't watch it for a couple of years. So my wife and I were like, you know what? Let's watch Doctor Who. Everybody fucking talks about Doctor Who. So we sat down and watched the 9th season. We got about 6 episodes in, and I was like, I don't like it. I just don't like this. So we waited, and then I was like a year ago or so, I came back and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to skip season 9 and go straight to season 10. And I was like, oh my God, I love it all over again. And I started watching it with my daughter, actually. She's 10 now. and her and my son, who's 12, we started watching season 10, and they're hooked. Like we sat and watched. I think we watched the whole season in like 3 days. Yeah. So it was really good, but we just couldn't get. I don't know what it was about the Ninth Doctor. I just couldn't. I don't know. I kept finding it. I didn't like the stories or something about it. Maybe it was the special effects because they were first season is rough.
It's still a bit rough then.
Yeah.
And I think also, if you're into your fan stuff, Eccleston has got a bit of baggage because he often plays bad guys in American film.
Right.
Like, I mean, he plays Malekith the elf in
Thor:
The Dark World.
Oh,
can't recognise who he is.
No.
It's probably the weakest Marvel film. Although there's the bits in it that I love.
Yeah.
Still, also, it was so weird that movie because the director of that flick, he's actually an awesome director. His name escapes me for a second, but I'll remember in a bit. And he directed a lot of episodes of. It's called Alan something. He directed a lot of episodes of Game of Thrones.
Okay.
And he directed like an awesome Alan Taylor, I think his name is, an awesome indie film from the 90s called Palookaville, which is about like 3 hoods trying to like rob a bank from inside a bakery, and that's great as well. But
did they do a remake of that?
Palookaville is a remake of a French film.
And I think they did a remake here though too, where they're in a bakery and it's right next and it's adjacent to a bank.
That's it. That's the movie I'm talking about.
Yeah, I've seen that. But I think they did a remake here in America as well.
Well, that's the remake I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It was directed by Alan Taylor, who's the guy who made Thor: The Dark World.
Yeah.
That's a great.
I think that's the one I'm thinking of.
Oh, it's
Who was
awesome.
in that?
Vincent Gallo is in it. Vincent Gallo's in it.
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Is that called Palookaville?
It's called Palookaville.
Oh.
Yeah. So
back and watch it.
back in the day when that came out, I actually interviewed Alan Taylor
nice.
about that movie, and he was a super affable, nice guy. We're going wildly all over the place here, mate.
We have episodes, Andrew, just called The Tangent of Tangents. And we have 4 of them because we just hit record.
No, we have 5. We haven't released yet.
Oh,
right.
And we just start talking, and it's like we go all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
That's our, and it's funny. That's the number one thing people tell us is we just love it when you guys will argue. You know what I mean? And we'll bicker back and forth, and then they just like the banter of going back and forth.
Yeah.
So it's
we like conversations. Obviously.
Yeah, conversations.
Please go this way and that way.
Is the key, right?
Interviews are boring. Conversations are awesome.
So I'll just sort of remember.
Yeah,
that it's what I love.
Yeah.
So just so I've remembered to do it, I was originally going through where we were Titan Entertainment and how it works. So we've got this great books division and we've got this great comics division, and we've got the merchandise division that I run, and that's our Titans vinyl collectibles. That's our T-shirt really business. Cool. So if you ever go into a Hot Topic and buy a Doctor Who shirt, we make those shirts.
Oh, nice.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
And we've got some awesome designs.
I have some of the vinyl guys at home.
Nice.
Did you get where can you get the vinyls at?
You can get them at Hot Topic. You can get them at FYE. You can get them at Barnes & Noble. You can get them, if you're struggling to find any of them, you can get them from an awesome online business called 7x6. And that's the words 7x6.com.
Yeah.
They have an Amazon store. You can get a lot of our stuff there.
And a lot of comic shops have them too.
Cheers again, guys. By
Cheers.
The way.
Cheers, mate.
Yeah, nice one. This is delicious.
Yeah, because they do comic shops because they'll have the Doctor Who ones or the Aliens ones or the other branded ones you guys
So
do.
I tell you, Andrew, next time you're here, we got to do a football match, and then we got to do a Seahawks game.
I love it. Yeah,
because you will
Seahawks game. I would love to see.
Have you been to a Seahawks game?
I know. I would love to.
Oh yeah, you'll love it.
I've been to one. It's an experience, man.
Yeah, it is an experience.
I bet it is.
I've been to many.
I'm not even an American football fan.
Yeah.
But I had fun.
So I've been to a couple of American football matches because obviously we have a very tight relationship with Diamond, who distribute all our comics.
Yeah.
And I have a couple of meetings here out with my Diamond brothers in Baltimore. So that's hello to Eric and Arik, and like one of the senior buyers in the merch division at Diamond is a really cool guy called Eric. He used to play football. His sons play football, and so I've been to and he's got season tickets to the Ravens. So myself and my deputy,
that'd be a fun one to go.
We've been to the Ravens games a few times, and they have been awesome.
Yeah,
been really, really good.
So Seattle is known to have, well, it goes back and forth with the Kansas City Chiefs, but we have gone back and forth in breaking the world's record for the loudest stadium in the world.
Oh, love it! That's great.
And it gets crazy.
Yeah.
People are rabid fans, but there's a difference in Seattle. if you're a 49ers fan or a Raiders fan or a Ravens fan, and you come here and cheer, you're not going to get beat up when you get out the stadium.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You go down to Oakland and you're a Raiders fan, or you're somebody else and they're playing the Raiders, you don't.
Yeah,
You
don't
might
do that.
not want to say
Don't do
Well,
that.
that's the way we do soccer matches in England, of course. Yeah. The last thing you would ever do would be absolute suicide to walk into the opposite end and put your shirt on and stand there cheering for your team. That's just a one-way trip.
You'll see people here. It's kind of funny. They'll show up in their Seahawks jacket, and then they're playing the 49ers, and they'll take off their jacket. They got a 49ers shirt underneath.
Well, they do the same shit at Mariners games too.
Yeah.
They'll show up in a Mariners jacket, take it off, and they'll be wearing a Yankee. Well, the Yankees is the big one, but
Yeah, the Yankees are the big one. But if you go to a Mariners game and they're playing the Toronto Blue Jays, the Blue Jay fans travel hard, and they'll come here and there'll be a bunch of Blue Jay fans.
I've been to games here where they're playing Blue Jays, and there's more Blue Jays fans than there are Mariners fans.
Yeah, that's the one that seems to, for some reason, they travel really well.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Well, a lot of them have transplanted here too. They're already here.
Yeah.
But
so Doctor Who Day, is that November 24th, right?
Right. I believe so.
I think so.
But the guy, I'm not the dates guy.
Yeah.
The dates guy is guy I did the presentation with the other day. Who's called Chris Thompson, who's AKA Pop Culture Hound, AKA the brand manager at Titan Comics. He's a really cool Australian dude. Yeah. And him and Will Mullane, our PR guy, and Nicky Claydon, our marketing guy, they're much better and much younger than me and much better therefore at remembering dates. I remember a shitload of information. But you want me to remember a date, that's pretty
I'm the
tough.
same way. I remember something, I'm like, it's da-da-da, and there you hear John in the background. It's actually da-da-da.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's da-da-da.
But I'll make sure I'll hit you up with those dates so you can put them in the scroll on the.
Well, we want to do a special podcast for that day that we release as well,
right on.
in conjunction with what you guys are doing for Doctor Who Day, so that we can promote what you guys are doing.
Yeah, and if I remember, I think you might have had some conversations with Will about that.
Yep.
Will is a superb dude. He is, by the way, he's only a young man, right? But he is as much of I'm a huge, lifelong Steve Ditko fan.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Which is why I closed out our presentation.
I like that.
Not that I'm trying to do Gabriel's job for him at Marvel, but just because I love Steve Ditko.
They didn't even mention.
They didn't say shit about him on their panel.
Which was weird. That's really weird.
It's not that we're saying it, right?
Here's the guy that designed and wrote a majority of your most popular superhero you've ever had.
The biggest money maker.
You can't go anywhere in the Western world you can't walk anywhere without for an hour outside in a city without seeing Steve Ditko's work. It's fucking everywhere. It is everywhere.
It's incredible.
Yeah. His impact is all pervasive because
him and Kirby.
Kirby's amazing for its depth and its brilliance. I'm a huge Kirby fan also. But what Steve Ditko did was, I believe, design the single most recognizable character costume ever of all time.
I love the original design with the webbing right here and everything, on the armpits and
the brilliance of it, of course, is that irrespective of race, gender, creed, religion, anybody can put that mask on.
Right.
Be Spider-Man.
Anyone can be Spider-Man.
Anyone can be Spider-Man. And that's actually paved the way for all the awesome stuff Bendis has done with Miles Morales and all the great Spider-Gwen stuff. It's all rooted in Ditko, all of it.
Yeah.
And I'm not one of these people who diminishes like Stan's contribution, because that great 1960s jazzy voice, that voice that Peter Parker has, that I still hear in my head, by the way, with the actors who did the voiceovers on the 60s television show. Even that's tremendously limited animation. When you hear the voice performances, they're amazing.
Are you talking about the cartoon? Or
cartoon
the
60s,
the cartoon, yeah.
The cartoon from the 60s, the one that, Spider-Man.
Yeah, bro, Spider-Man.
For me, it was Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends.
Yeah, because that's a generational thing.
Yeah. That was one for me. And when, getting up every Saturday morning, turning on channel, because it was on Channel 5 on NBC, and then it'd start off with Stan Lee.
Yeah. Hi, this is Stan Lee.
No, he's like, morning true believers. And then he would do the whole thing, and then he would, I don't think he ever said Excelsior, because I don't think he had that tagline yet. But it was true believers every morning on Channel 5, every Saturday, and then, I'd watch Spider-Man. I absolutely, but I watched the television show the actual live
The
action.
Nicholas Hammond show, yeah.
Yeah.
I love that show.
And I think that was, so there was a Japanese Spider-Man
Yes,
show.
correct.
There was.
And I think some of the action that they took that you saw happening was cut out of the Japanese and put into the American live action.
No, I tell you what, I know exactly what you're thinking of, and here's the answer.
Yeah.
The final, so what happened to the Amazing Spider-Man TV show starring Nicholas Hammond?
only on.
in the 13 episodes.
Yeah.
About.
Yeah.
Might be 17. Originally, that show was basically spliced together, and they took all the two-parters, and they took the pilot and the second episode, and they took two-parters, and they released them as movies in the UK. So in England in the late 70s, I saw all of those. I didn't see the TV show at first.
Yeah.
I saw all of those with my Uncle Ray, who took me to see Star Wars and all this stuff. Uncle Ray took me to see Spider-Man, which is the pilot and the second episode. Then Spider-Man Strikes Back, which is a two-parter. Then, and this is what you're thinking of, is Spider-Man The Dragon's Challenge, which is the last two episodes. And the last two episodes were shot on location in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I suspect that's what your memory is flipping
probably.
in. Yeah,
I was a kid. I was like five. When that came out, I was like 5.
Absolutely right. Because, I mean, one
Maybe 4.
of the keys to my adult life, it's ridiculous the amount of time I've spent trying to track down images in my mind that I remember from the pre-internet era. But I know I saw it.
Right.
I've just got to figure out what it is. And slowly but surely, I'm in my mid-50s now. I've tracked down most of these. Some of these things have taken 20 years.
You, man. I'm right behind you.
But there are still some things in there. I just can't figure out what I was seeing, but I know the images in my mind.
I know for a fact that they had somebody off camera, and he'd go, pew, they'd have somebody with a rope.
Oh, yeah,
with
just
a
throw
net.
the rope.
Just throw the net.
Right. Oh. The thing about Nicholas Hammond is I'd always kind of hoped that he would get like a cameo or some recognition in any of the Spider-Man movies.
Oh, you should.
Because A, he's an iconic actor anyway, because he's the oldest boy in The Sound of Music. Yeah?
Is it?
Of the Von Trapp family, he's the oldest boy.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
Right on.
That's so cool, man.
And it's so cool because the second oldest girl is and her name escapes my mind for just 1 second, but she's an actress who played she's called Belinda something, I think. She's an actress who played the lead actress in the TV version of Logan's Run, and she was also married to
I love Logan's Run.
one of my favourite TV actors ever, Robert Urich, the guy who played played Dan Tanner in Vegas, and he played Spencer in Spencer for Hire.
He was in
Robert
Austin,
Urich.
He was in Austin Powers.
And he was. I tell you what else he was in.
plays
He was
the
in.
VP.
He was an awesome actor. He was in. Have you ever seen Magnum Force, the second Dirty Harry film?
Oh
Right.
yeah. I've seen all the Dirty Harrys.
So basic, great films, right?
Yeah.
What's great about Magnum Force is, so just to recap, it's like Dirty Harry going up against a bunch of like rookie cops who look up to him as a god. And then he figures out that the much worse than his, they're super fascists, and the chief of police. I'm sorry, I'm spoiling the shit out of this movie.
We're called spoiler country.
Yeah, for a reason.
It's in the title, man. We're good.
I'm with you now. I'm completely on the same page.
Because we get so excited, we just give it away.
Oh yeah, good. I like the way you encode it in the name. That's very clever.
We thought about that.
The chief of police has set up this ultra-fascist unit of like rookie cops who are going around like taking people out. But what's great is who those rookie cops are, and the rookie cops are Robert Urich, who went on to be a massive TV star, and he played the Lazarus Man. He played Spencer. He did.
Did you ever watch that?
Yeah, that's fucking awesome. That show. It's
90s,
great.
right?
That's pretty much the last thing he did before he passed away young. And he played Dan Tanner, the Vegas private eye in Vegas, spelled VEGA $.
Yeah.
And he played Spencer in Spencer for Hire. And then the second undercover, second rookie is Tim Matheson, who is Otter in National Lampoon's Animal House.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So essentially the lead, the key guy in the fraternity, and then the third rookie is David Soul, Hutch from Starsky and Hutch. So there's all these people, he's going up against them. Now, why I started talking about that is the bit that I've completely forgotten. I've got no idea. How did I back into that one?
You can have another drink.
Yeah, no. Okay, I know it has something to do with Robert Urich. Yes, I've got it. Okay, so
And we're back.
So yeah. So the girl who played the second oldest daughter in the Von Trapp family, she was the star of Logan's Run, the TV show, and she was married to Robert Urich. Yeah. And then the oldest boy is Nicholas Hammond. Yeah, so, there's all these
They should give him a nod on that.
Yeah. No, because the thing about him is, the only limitation in his performance is the technical limitations of the late 70s.
Yeah.
He is a great Peter Parker. He's a really good Peter Parker.
Yep.
And he's really earnest, and there's a great moment at the end of the
I
pilot
couldn't
movie.
wait to watch it when I was a kid.
Yeah,
I watched
me
it on
neither.
reruns because I was a little, you know what I mean? Because I was like somewhere between 5 and 8. I don't remember, you know what I mean? It was a long time ago, obviously. But me and my brother used to wait to watch it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And matter of fact, it was on reruns, and we'd watch that, and then that night we would watch The Great American Hero.
Oh, superb show.
Oh,
Superb.
God, I love that.
Great show.
I heard they're bringing it back.
Yeah, they are.
I heard that too. Yeah.
They tried to bring it back once already. Not a couple of years after it. A couple of years after it was cancelled, they shot a pilot where basically Ralph manages to out himself as the hero, and he really annoys the aliens. So the aliens turn up, take the suit off him, and the FBI agent played by Robert Culp.
Yeah.
Ultimately,
You remember all these names?
I love the level of knowledge you have. And it's,
I know. It's like, how do you remember these
I think I know a lot of shit, but I'm like, okay, all right, cool.
it's 54 years of having no normal social life. You know what I mean? Actually, I've got a normal social life now, but the thing is, I reckon until I was about 27, 28, all I did was watch TV and watch movies and read comic books. That's pretty obvious in my how I ended up being like a divorced guy with 2 grown-up kids, God only knows. God only knows how I managed to put together. I mean, you met my kid, my son.
Yeah.
I've got 2 kids. I've got an awesome daughter who, like I mentioned to you, she works at Forbidden Planet in London.
Oh, nice.
And she loves nerd stuff. And my son, he's been coming out and working with me at San Diego since he was 15. He's 22 now.
Yeah.
And he loves all this stuff. So,
awesome.
you know,
It's awesome.
That's awesome. I love it that you're got this the whole thing with the family.
Oh,
going on.
family is very important to me.
Yeah.
Well, that's my friends or that's my genetic family. It's very, very important. And,
This whole thing for us is all family.
Because it's brotherhood, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I'm married to his niece.
Ah, yeah, well, there we go.
there you go,
Yeah. He told me that before, which is the only reason I didn't go, oh, what? Yeah. I think that's brilliant. You know, I think, carry your family around you with you as you go.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
carry your friends around, carry your family
When
around.
I do comic shows, I also write and draw comics myself, So I do a local show and I sell my books. I always bring one of my kids with me. Either my eldest son, Cody, or my actually the last one was my daughter,
got
Sadie.
5 kids.
I have 5 kids.
That's amazing.
So I bring one of them with me and they help me. They're my table mate for the day.
Yeah.
Which is a lot of fun.
Mate, that's a lot of potency you've got there.
That's a lot.
5 is a lot. I've got 2, and that's felt like my life's work.
I got 1. That's
In a
enough.
brilliant way, in an absolutely awesome way.
Yeah.
One's enough.
Once you start getting into double figures, it's a lot. That's a lot of children. That's
That's a
amazing,
lot,
man.
man.
Put it there. That's unbelievable.
Well, I have an amazing wife too, so she's.
Quite clearly, which is why you're here.
I'm here doing this. She's at home with the kids.
Saturday.
Right.
I get it completely.
She was like,
she's an alpha girl.
She was like, how can I come with you and do this with you? And I'm like, well, you have kids to watch.
Oh, mate, that's well done, man. 5 is well
That's
well
a lot.
done to your missus. That's incredible.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Hats off to her. That's
Up until
unbelievable.
recently, she was a stay-at-home mom. She just started working again, like 3 months ago, because our youngest is now our oldest is now old enough to watch all the kids.
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
summertime, so she's like, I'll get a job again.
Yeah.
And-
I mean, it's being a mom, full-time mom. That's the toughest job in the world.
Yeah, it is.
Well,
Agree.
maybe just behind being a mom who's giving birth.
Right, right.
Those are the toughest jobs in the world, man.
Oh,
I mean,
I agree,
it's
100%.
unbelievable. That the amount that the burden people have to shoulder is incredible. And the fact that you've got a relationship where it works for you and you've got the balance right, that's an amazing thing. 5 kids, man, that is something else.
Yeah. Well, it helps that we're best friends, and then I have Kenric and I become best friends and family, and it's amazing.
Yeah, we do everything together.
Yeah, we text her all day long. Hey, just watch this and read this.
That's great though, guys. I love it. That's phenomenal.
This whole show started because we were just texting about comic books for a year.
Yeah.
We're like,
Yeah.
we should talk about this.
Yeah, that's really what happened. And for a while there, we were thinking maybe we should just do a book based on our conversations on IM,
So it's
and
pretty
literally
funny.
just print the instant messages out. You know what I mean? Because some of them are just so ridiculous.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, I think getting to do what you love is such a blessing in whatever way you manage to access it. I mean, one of the things you just said is about how I remember this detail. Well, I had the kind of mind where I could remember that stuff. The thing is, because I'm getting old, it's not like it, I mean, I would have been the name of the actress I was just trying to say from Logan's Run, who's married to Robert Urich. in the Von Trapp family. I know her name. She's on the other side of a door that's kind of rusted shut. And the thing is, I haven't forgotten it. I know it.
Right.
You got
to put
there'll be a lightning bolt in the beat. What? You know. And that's just a function of age. But I was always one of those people who remembered a lot of detail. And then because I was a movie journalist for so long, it was when you write about something all day every day, it's just drilling it into your head as well, you know. So you end up knowing it for a different number of reasons. Yes, Heather Menzies. Said name was Belinda. I think I said the name was Belinda because visually she's always reminded me slightly of Belinda Montgomery, who is the sister of Elizabeth Montgomery
from
Bewitched. And Belinda Montgomery was the female lead in Man from Atlantis.
Who was in Bewitched? It was Dick York, and then it was...
and then it was Dick Sargent.
Dick Sargent.
Took over playing the same guy.
Yeah, which is so funny because I remember the classic joke was, you can't just change dicks in between like that.
Right, exactly.
But apparently
And that
you can.
expect Elizabeth Montgomery not to notice.
Yeah. Apparently you can. Yeah, no, for sure.
So when you were growing up, what was like your quintessential book that you had to read for comics?
Oh, when I was growing up, my quintessential book. Yeah, okay. There's a couple of eras to this. Such a great question.
Yeah.
Such a great question. So basically, when I was very young, when I first learnt to read, I was a huge Batman fan, and I was a huge Batman fan at the time that Batman comics were mirroring the tone of the TV show. Yeah. Which I've always loved. Yeah.
The Adam West Show. Or?
The Adam West Show. Yeah. I mean, that was my first introduction to Batman. I've always loved it. I then got to the point where, you know, when I was like around about 10, I realised that actually the true comic book Batman is a darker character, and I was one of that brigade of people.
Neil Adams by then.
Oh yeah, really Neil Adams by then, and I really wanted that Batman, and part of me was always frustrated by the fact that for decades after that, this is what people forget now. If you grow up reading comics now, you've always grown up post Michael Keaton Batman, with Batman being a creature of the night, and for a while, the 66 Batman being treated as an aberration, and now now we finally got to that point where Batman is being treated like Sherlock Holmes or Tarzan, where it's like, well, any interpretation is cool and can equally coincide, and that's great. But I went through this arc where I massively loved the Batman TV show.
Yeah.
And then the cool thing to do was like reject that and really embrace the darkness of Neil Adams and Denny O'Neil and a bunch of other guys we'll talk about in a second. But I always still loved the 66 Batman.
Right.
And I've always considered it to be just as legitimate as the dark interpretation, in the same way that 1950s Dick Sprang Batman, where Batman's going to fucking alien civilization, you know what I mean, or was mutating into different versions of himself, that's just as cool as well.
That is really cool, actually.
And
they need to bring that kind of stuff back.
What Grant Morrison did really well is Grant Morrison is a writer that I've often resisted his charms and not enjoyed what he's done. And I read his original famous recent Batman run from a few years ago, and it left me kind of cold. And then what turned me around on it is your friend of mine, Kevin Smith. He did on Fatman and Batman, he did about 3-hour-long interviews with Grant Morrison about the way he approached Batman when he was doing that whole revitalization, and to hear him unpick it and go through how well he began to think, what if every decade of Batman was just a different, you know, kind of 2 years in his life? So, you know, he started out dark, then he opens up because he gets a sidekick, and then he experiments with loads of drugs, you know, recreational drugs. It's why you get the 1950s stories, and then things start getting tougher in his life. It's where all the darkness comes from. And, you know, and it was so inspired. I went back and read it, enjoyed it. And I would urge anybody to go and look at the Fatman and Batman episodes, which are Kev Smith talking to Grant Morrison.
Right.
Now, I've never met Grant Morrison, but I do have a connection with him, which is, for many years, my housemate was a guy called, post-divorce, my housemate was a guy called Ryan Hughes. And Ryan Hughes is one of the UK's leading graphic artists. Graphic designers. And he designs a lot of typefaces and fonts and whatnot, but he designs nearly all of the DC and Marvel logos that you see on the comics.
Really?
Yeah, he's done it for years.
That's awesome.
Yeah. He's in Burbank at the moment hanging out with the DC guys. And he also illustrated a number of Grant Morrison projects, one of which is called Durr, which is like an adult update of the 1950s British science fiction hero Dan Durr. And which is well worth it, sort of like anybody picking that up.
Dan Dare?
Dan Durr.
So, I know that. Okay.
Every now and again, my Liverpool accent comes out, and it's with that vowel sound. So when I go "duh," people don't understand what I'm saying, but it's Dan Durr, So her over there with the her, it means Dan Durr. And I say her over there and her on the head the same way, which is a cause of much hilarity to my children who are Londoners. To kind of like, so to scroll back on that whole thing.
Batman was your first true love.
Batman was my first true love,
comics.
100%. But I really love Spider-Man as well.
Yeah.
And that, for me, that was actually driven by, I'd read some Spider-Man comics. It was really driven by the 60s animated show, Spider-Man, Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And it really captured my imagination. And just to flip back into talking about the 70s TV show for a second, it's interesting. I think something that used to happen a lot back in the day is that when I was a kid, I went to see Star Wars one week and loved it. And then the next week I'd go and see the sewn together version of Spider-Man that was released in the UK cinemas. And I loved it just as much.
Yeah.
And even though I knew the effects were much shoddy and cheaper, I was just as excited. My brain was just filling in. And it's like I could
because you read Spider-Man, so you're like,
right. Your brain fills it in.
Yeah, that's what I feel about DC. When people shit on BVS and all that stuff, to me it's like, well, I read these comic books growing up. I love seeing this on the screen.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's beautifully shot. Maybe the story isn't the best,
but they look really pretty.
But it's whatever. It looks amazing, and then I can't. And to me, I'm like.
Right. Hey, there's only one thing. My only thing with Justice League that I wish that they had done in a different way, and I know why it happens. We all know what happens. Anything that took me out of it. I mean, I could say a lot of things about the way I didn't particularly enjoy it as a film. I enjoyed it as a fan book experience.
Yeah.
But I wish they hadn't gone with the upper lip moustache thing. I wish they'd just waited for it, delayed it for another 6 months.
Just delayed it.
Shot him without the moustache.
Yeah.
That's the only. That really took me out of the movie.
To me, it was
looking at the
look
CGI
of,
in his lip.
Steppenwolf.
Yeah.
He looked like gameplay on a video kit. And I was like, oh, who greenlit that?
He absolutely did. Yeah.
Because you go back and you watch Infinity War, and Thanos is obviously CGI, but he looks incredible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're watching it, and you can suspend that disbelief and enjoy what you're watching.
There's for whatever reason, and it could be the fact that Disney's just this incredible, huge monopoly.
Lots of money, man. Lots of money.
The way both the de-aging they've done on all the movies, and the way they did Thanos' CGI character. I mean, you really feel Josh Brolin's performance in that movie.
Yeah.
Who's having a great summer, by the way.
Yeah. Oh,
because he's fucking awesome in Infinity War.
Yeah.
And he's fucking awesome in Deadpool.
He's got a Netflix movie out right now called White Deer Hunter, which is hilarious.
He's the best, that guy, and he's got a great sense of humour as well.
Yeah.
He doesn't take himself seriously. But to back up on what we were saying, so I was a huge Batman fan. I was a huge Spider-Man fan. And then what happened is, as I then got into the 70s, I remained big fans. I read everything. But I was a massive Captain America fan.
Really?
Captain America is my absolute favourite character.
Yeah.
And do you remember I was telling you about my grandfather and World War II thing?
Yeah.
Captain America, big fan of Pops's. And I've always been, because of Pops's. Pops had a million stories. Not a million, but hundreds of stories about World War II.
Yeah.
Many of which are too graphic to just mention in polite company, right?
Sounds like my Uncle Hank.
Too horrifying.
Yeah.
All of them seem to end with guys having their testicles blown off.
Oh.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's it. He seemed to witness a lot of guys getting their testicles blown off. So there's so many times you can wrap these stories out. And he made them sound funny. That was the best part. It was like the funniest story he'd ever heard.
You gotta spin it. You gotta spin a little bit.
And then he had his bollocks blown off.
Oh my God.
Of course.
And he'd be laughing chuckling away to himself. Yeah. So
that's what we call a nut shot.
Yeah, right. So he was he's a big fan of anything to do with World War II, fascinated with the subject, had a lot of stories himself.
Was he still around when Private Ryan came out?
Yes. Oh, yeah, he was. Yeah.
And what did you think of that
He
film?
loved it. Oh, yeah, he loved it. It was very resonant to him because the whole.
Well, I know when it came out.
Yeah.
They showed it, and then a week after its release, on the bigger theaters, they had to put. They were starting to put therapists or
advisory notices.
Well, advisory notices and people that were available to talk with the guys that are starting having flashbacks, because that opening scene, especially if they were on Omaha, opening scene was so realistic. They were just some of those old guys were having flashbacks and having breakdowns.
Yeah.
So they had to have people there that would be like
some guys who buried it for years and not talked about it. Yeah. No, he really enjoyed those movies, and he was so therefore the World War II origins of Captain America had always appealed to me. I really enjoyed the when Stan and Jack revived Captain America and they did a load of flashback tales happened in World War II. I really enjoyed those.
Yeah.
I really liked the stuff they brought forward when they started doing all the sleeper stuff, and I really liked it when Gene Colan was on it and they did the Cosmic Cube. And then throughout the era, you probably remember quite well, for most of the 70s, Steve Englehart stuff about ultimately he becomes nomad, he gets disenchanted, and he finds out the big bad guy is Richard Nixon and all that kind of stuff. That was all great too. But but then I would say that what happened is, with the exception of, there was a brief run that Roger Stern and John Byrne did, and it lasted for about 8 issues, so it was kind of abortive. It was wonderful, and it was when John Byrne was at the peak of his Marvel heat, just after X-Men, and he jumped over to Captain America. That was a great book, I love that. But I didn't like Captain America throughout most of the 80s and 90s, and I just didn't read it at all.
That's what I...
So mediocre.
Right.
Mediocre.
I always hated Captain America because I grew up in the 80s and 90s,
Yeah,
and that's what I saw, like Cap Wolf and all this bullshit, and I was like, this is lame. And I never went back and read the old ones, and then the movie came out, and I was like, oh, he's a cool character.
Well, the problem is
that's all about Ed Brubaker.
Yeah.
You know, because there is one other briefly good run.
Brubaker's great.
Well, Brubaker's the man.
Yeah.
He is my favourite author. There's one other briefly good run, which was Mark Waid and Ron Garney. The Mark Waid and Ron Garney run, which I'm thinking has to be like from the early 90s.
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome.
What did Brubaker do lately?
Kill or Be Killed.
Yeah.
That is such a great book.
It was so good.
I haven't got to the end of it yet. Before we.
I'm 5 issues in. I've been buying them as they go out.
It's that guy can do no wrong. He's a fucking genius.
You
he
read
really
it
is.
and you're just like, what?
Oh no, the dude's a genius. But I remember there's this comic book store in London. This is before I was working when I was still publishing movie and music mags. It's before I worked at Titan. And there's 2 really great blokes who work in this store. It's called Gosh. One guy's called Nate and one guy's called Andrew. And I went in there one day and said to Nate, look man, I've really got to find something else to read that's quite substantial. He says, you want to try Captain America? And it's like, look, I really love Captain America, but people have just pissed all over that character for so long. I don't want to read it. You know, it's like watching somebody urinate in something you love, right?
Exactly.
It's like, you've got to read this Ed Brubaker, and it's like 24 in the Marvel Universe. So it's like, okay, I'll give it a go. And shit, he was totally right. And I was hooked to that whole run. And that, of course,
you want to go and read it.
That's the whole.
Right, me too.
That's the whole template for the movie.
Yeah.
The movies are, because what he did is he goes back to Cap as a soldier. So they used to literally have issues of Captain America in the 70s where Cap would bend himself into knots about accidentally killing somebody.
Yeah.
I'm not a killer, I don't use guns, what have I done? And Brubaker is like, he's a fucking soldier. Of course he kills people. Of course he's used guns. He's Captain America. He's not Mr. America, the librarian. Mr. America, the librarian who doesn't like violence. He's fucking Captain America. The guy goes and kills Nazis. That's who he is. That's the concept of the character.
Did you read that new series where Captain America actually says Hell Hydra and then they're...
well, actually, I've got to tell you, I haven't. And the reason for that is I'm such a cap. I realised that there was going to be some get out of jail free card at the end.
Right.
To go back to normal. But I personally, you know, whatever they say, Hydra is the Nazi party.
It is.
I don't want to read Captain America comics where Captain America's
Nobody
fucking Nazi.
does.
That's like, who greenlit that said, yeah, that seems like a good idea.
It's the most fucking stupid idea imaginable.
We're talking about, we're like, Kirby is rolling in his grave right now. Here is a Jewish guy fighting in World War II, comes home, creates Captain America, fighting the fucking first issue is him knocking out Hitler.
Punching Hitler.
Yeah, and then you guys do this. That's a smack in his face.
I could just imagine, you know, Pops, who lived to a ripe old age, who is no longer with us.
Yeah.
Reading
Rest
that
in peace,
issue.
Pops.
And yeah, and it'd be like, I was fucking killing these guys, like, you know, not Germans, Nazis. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Germans
Big difference.
are fucking cool. He doesn't use different.
Yeah.
Some of my best mates in the world are fucking Germans. Nazis, fucking hell, these guys can fuck off. And it'd be like, I was over like, you know, literally shooting in the face of these people for several years. And now, what, Captain America's a Nazi?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's just not right.
And then they said, oh, he's not a clone. This is a real thing. And then it comes out, he's a fucking clone.
Such fucking bullshit. But you knew that was coming. You knew that was coming.
Yeah, it was.
Do you know what I mean?
It was right on the wall. I mean,
I bought that first issue. He said it, and I knew it was in there because they had released that. He says it, and I was like, okay, I'll get the first. And then when you read it and you see it, it just pissed me off.
It's angering.
I was like, I couldn't do it. I was like, how can you guys do this? You know what I loved is that when you said "fuck off," you did the two fingers.
Oh yeah,
and I learned that the reason they did that is because when I don't know who England was fighting. I think it was. I want to say it was the English, and it was the archers.
Yeah.
Showing we still got
both our fingers.
Yeah.
Because what they're trying to do is to try and shoot out the fingers so you couldn't do it. Yeah, it's when we were fighting the French.
That's what it was.
The Harlequins. And the Harlequins who were like, were these like long range archers that'd be like, yeah, look, we can still kill you from
fuck you, we got our two fingers. And I love that because we do this. We do the middle finger. This for us is peace.
That's the best part. Because you see that all the time. That makes us really, I mean, you see that's just about okay if you do it that way. But I see loads of Americans doing peace going like that.
Yeah, they're going
that's
like this.
Hilarious if you're English. Oh, I'll tell you another one of these that if we can bring it to mind. There's another one like that. Yes, okay, I've got it. Have you ever heard that baseball song?
Take me out to the ball game?
No, it's a more contemporary one than that. And it's called "Load Up the Bases." It kind of goes "Load up the bases," and the chorus is "I'm going to knock one out."
Oh yeah.
I'm going to knock one out. That one, yeah. Okay, so in England and Australia, to knock one out means to masturbate. I see on YouTube all these videos get posted up of people at ball games singing that song. Men and women en masse, we're going to knock one out. That to me is fucking hilarious.
Go for it. Go ahead.
I don't want to see
Yeah. No, absolutely. No, it's pretty. It's highly amusing. Yeah.
Hilarious.
So there we go. So it's interesting how slang can. I mean, that's that thing. That's that famous saying. The Americans and the British are two nations separated by a common language. Right. And that might be. I might be paraphrasing slightly, but that's what to me is fascinating.
Yeah.
Because we all speak the same thing. We all communicate to each other. But it's the edges mean that sometimes you can see people looking at you going, "What?"
Yeah. Well, when we were talking, you kept saying tube.
Yeah.
For we call it a subway.
Yeah.
You call
tube.
it
Yeah.
The tube.
Exactly,
And then we say freeway, you say motorway. And then we say a driveway where we park our cars.
Yeah.
We call it what do you guys call it?
I know.
Park a car in front of the house. What do you guys call that?
You call it just the drive.
The drive.
The drive.
Yeah, it's just so funny.
Yeah.
Little things.
Oh, no, yeah. That's why language is such a beautiful thing.
But you know what's funny is when I talk to people from Europe or specifically from England, I have no issues understanding what they mean.
Right.
You know what I mean? It doesn't matter when they have little things that they say.
Yeah, because the heart of it is there, isn't it?
It's all the same.
Yeah, and also you can infer a lot from what people say. Right. Just looking at the context of what what they're saying. Yeah.
Are you a big IT crowd fan?
Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. It's great. And actually,
are they bringing it back?
Yeah, there's always talk of bringing it back.
Who's doing that? Is that?
The guys who write that show are these two incredible comedy writers. Can't bring their names to my mind at the moment, but if you've never seen it, you should check out a sketch show they did before they did the IT crowd.
Yeah,
and it's called Big Train. Yeah,
Big Train.
And there are 2 seasons of it. And it stars like Simon Pegg before he became famous, and a bunch of other people.
Oh my God!
And it's a 2-season sketch comedy, and it is awesome.
You know, I saw Shaun the Dead on a lark.
Oh yeah!
I had like 3 hours to kill, and I walked to the theater, and they're like, "These are the movies they're playing," and the one that was starting was Shaun of the Dead. Had no clue what it was about. Walked in, watched it, and I was like,
I loved it.
Oh yeah! I was like, "Oh my God, this is hilarious!" And then after that, anything Simon Pegg and Nicholas Frost.
Yeah,
anything they were doing, I was like, I gotta watch this.
Did you see Spaced?
No.
Man,
it's a TV show, right?
TV show.
Yeah, before Shaun of the Dead.
Okay, so basically, before Shaun of the Dead, Pegg and a lady called Jessica Hines co-wrote this TV show that was directed by the dude who directed the Cornetto trilogy by Edgar Wright.
Okay.
Yeah? And it's called Spaced, and Nick Frost is in it as well, and it's about 2 flatmates who live in a house together, and to get the kind of floor of this house to live in, they've pretended to be partners, but they're not really. They never knew each other. And it's just about their life together. But it is absolutely stuffed with comic book and computer game and movie references.
I gotta
There's
check it
2
out.
episodes of 6, and it's fucking phenomenal.
I gotta watch it.
If you like
It's
what
good.
Edgar Wright and Peg do, and Nick Frost, it's really like the precursor to all of that, and you have to see it.
It's
so
good.
that and Big Train, you've got to watch.
Oh, I'm gonna watch them.
Yeah.
I
Space is
love
good, man.
British TV.
With the
I
other
watch it
one
all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you've ever seen this show, but another one that I'd recommend is Peep Show. Have you ever seen Peep Show?
No.
So Peep Show, right? It's now this is fairly long running for an English show. There's maybe 8 or 9 seasons of it, but as
a
with a
long
lot
time.
of British comedy shows, they're only 6 episodes long, so it's quite consumable.
Right.
But you have to watch it. It's about high-level comedy of embarrassment. So it's about 2 guys who've like gone to university together,
Right.
and they've been roomed together, and that is their only connection. And basically, it's shot with 2 first-person cameras. So it's either shot from one guy's point of view, looking directly into the eyes,
Right.
or the other guy's point of view. They wear the cameras on their head, but you never see those, of course. You just see
Right.
their points of view, and the show's cut together like that. And it is just the most mind-numbing comedy of embarrassment. Like, just the worst things happen to these guys. And it's like, everybody has 2 or 3 stories in their life of like, well, we did this, and now, God, it was the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened
Right,
to me.
right.
Oh, that's
But it's like
hilarious.
every week of it is like that.
Oh, I want to watch it now.
And it's fantastic.
Like,
Yeah.
dude, the IT Crowd, I think I've watched, because it's on Netflix.
Yeah.
I think I've watched all 4 seasons
It's great, man.
multiple times.
Oh, it's all
My
different
favorite
stuff.
one is the one where Jen gets invited by that guy to go to a play, and it ends up being a homosexual play. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And he's all into it. And what's the guy's name? Not the. I'm having a hard time remembering everybody's name. But he goes into the bathroom, and he uses the employee. He doesn't use it. He uses the handicap stall. He uses the handicap bathroom, and he's just like. He hits the thing thinking he's flushing the toilet, but he's hitting the emergency
He's
call
pulling the
thing.
emergency lever, yeah.
They break down the door, and he's like on the floor. I'm disabled. Oh my God, I lost it. I lost
yeah.
it. And then the one where she's, everybody thinks Jen died.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
putting a thing, and the guy says, I had sex with her.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
and she, oh God,
Oh,
man.
yeah. Oh, no, it's great. Or the one where it's like, oh, this is the internet. And it's that's the internet. And what does IT stand for? And she doesn't know.
Right.
That's a good. No, but seriously, what does it stand for? I've always wondered. Yeah, that's a really good question. There's that guy from the IT Crowd, Richard Ayoade. He's incredibly talented.
Richard Ayoade.
And he directed an amazing film called
Submarine.
Submarine.
Oh, that's a great
it's
movie.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
That kid in Submarine is brilliant.
Yeah,
He
it's
is
a great one.
awesome. Yeah, he's awesome. Yeah, man. So we've we've got to this point from the question, what comic books did you read when you were a kid?
Oh, yeah,
and I got
that's how
2
it
comic
goes.
books in.
That's
This
how
is
it
what we
goes.
got
It
to.
just-
You used Batman, Spider-Man, and Captain America. There's 3 in.
Yeah. So then when we hit the
Ed Brubaker. So it's
Brubaker. Oh yeah, and we've got to talk a lot about Brubaker. I could do an entire 90 minutes talking about Brubaker.
Nice.
He's phenomenal. He's
we do one
phenomenal.
more?
Yeah. Oh yeah, right on for sure.
one
Yeah.
more.
Thank you. Do you know what? I'm going to take this opportunity to. Are we good on the tape?
Yeah.
And we're back.
We're back.
These are so funny
That was-
because we do these intro outros before. And it's just funny because it's like, oh, we're listen to Andrew Sumner, and we're back.
Right. So in for us recording it, it's a matter of like 2 seconds versus like, the actual thing the hour you just listened to.
Right. So there you guys go. I hope you really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
We're going to try to do some more things with Andrew on a ongoing basis.
Right. And we have another full episode with him, because that was a 2-hour long thing. And what you heard there was just the first half of it. So you'll have the next half coming sometime soon too.
Oh, there you go. We're going to split it up. That's even better.
Yeah. It was just too much for one episode,
Just
man.
too
It was
much Andrew for one episode. We couldn't contain him. He was just busting out the seams.
Right.
That's hilarious. All right. I think that's a show. I hope you guys
That is a
enjoyed
show,
what you
dude.
heard. Don't forget, we are everywhere podcasts are heard. You can hear us, hear our soothing sounds, hear our wonderful, nice, even keel voices for you to
That's right.
listen to.
And if you want to talk to
maybe
us,
go to sleep to.
Ooh. And if you want to
you
talk
do
to
it.
these soothing voices, you can do it on Twitter.
Yep.
At @spoiler_country, on Instagram,
Yep.
on Facebook, on any of the social media. Just search for us. You'll find us there. scpod.net for our website. If you want to go check that out and leave a comment and check out some of the awesome reviews and other articles we have posted there. You can email us at spoilcountry@gmail.com. You could even call us, leave a voicemail at 707-656-2080.
You can.
One more time, 707-656-2080. And that's a show.
That is a show. I just realized I have a fan on, and it might be blowing across the microphone, so I apologize. All right, guys, we're out. Later. Oh, let's do our sign-off.
Open your mind.
I almost forgot.
Yeah.
Open your mind.
Don't forget.
Open your mind.
Read more.
Oh, my God. Can we do this one more time? Open your mind and...
read more.
Thank you. Yeah. Oh, my God.
Oh, God.